Hello, right, today I want to build a circle cutting jig for the bandsaw. New bandsaw, no circle cutting jig, it went with the old one. So that is the project for today. So let's get on with it. Once it's warmed up, I'm going to get this fire going first because it's pikey in here. Right, what I've done as a start is I've cut the two sheets that I need. That is the top sheet and this is the base sheet. Then I cut another strip off this hard top surface stuff to go into the mitre fence slot there. What I do now is I will mount that to this as squarely as I possibly can, measuring from there to there to the edge. Yeah, 510 to the edge, bring it out a little bit, it won't matter. 510 to the edge there, 510. So I've just marked the centre of this, 615, so I just want to get it like grain at the front of it. Right, now what I want to do is temporarily clamp the other one to this and do the same again. This one to one side for now. Now we're working on this one. Right, so putting that one underneath that, that'll give me a grip and keep me above where I want to be. So I'll give that a try. I need this piece, we pitch it with this piece, and then this piece, and it come level with that. Right, okay, now I've glued all them pieces on to this board, and squared it out as best I can. Now, the best thing is to leave it overnight in situ, very secure. Then I can start trimming the sides down. Here we are. Now set, I want to get this off and then first off just square it all up. That's the main thing I do first. Now before I actually take it off, I just want to make a marking on here with a pencil to show me where I am in relation to the tabletop, because I want to put a stopper in here. Could be there. From that point, 16. Take this one. The slide, I do not want to cut that. That is going to stay its full length. Is put in against two different surfaces. So I can mark this one, mark this one, double length. At this point it's probably recommended that we put that strip back on. so that I can keep the table square on the table. And you see the principle of this, it sits tight against the body, and I've just notched it for that. I want it to sit tight against that. Okay, slide it back up and trim that, and then I can start getting that on. So just trim that top. Okay, that should sit good. Put it back onto position it. Okay, they're positioned. Okay, let's test it. Okay, that can't go anywhere, no wobble, everything's solid there. Next, the slide. Take a portion of it, and I want to go down 5mm. Let's do this properly. There's the 30 bolt that we're going to use, and that goes up there. Wind it down there, like that. Back it off, and then hammer it in. Really good. Okay, now we take a slide, we slide it in, and we turn. And we can't move it. It's locked. That's all it is. Just to lock it in place so that doesn't move at all. Like that. And that's it. Slacken it. Set the size of circle you want. Lock it off again. Now I need to mark out for that. That's suction the blade. Just, this is square with the line that we cut with this machine. So it's square to that blade. Here, I've got a down point. It's what we use for marking downs. Now I'm just going to drill a hole and sink that into there. That's all, just simple. That's the number 8. Now, that is sitting perfectly flat. Right, the next job that I've already done actually, which you will need to do, is where this blade goes through this jig. When you're cutting a circle, it's going to build up pretty quick. And as you've only got this slot line, it's going to clog up. And then when you try and take the jig off, the blade will be stuck and you won't be able to pull it off. So, with a portion of it, I just cut out 40mm hole, don't mind about that, 40mm hole going only through the underside. So now on the top, see, we've got a hole there. Yeah. But only on the slide. Where the slide goes, and that's it. We don't want it anywhere on the surface. So that's another thing to do. When we're operating this, you will be putting your timbers on, providing they're within that sort of arc, and sliding them on to start with, then turning it. So you need to be able to do this slide, but we also need to be able to clamp it down. Now it depends really on your table, what you've got underneath to where you can clamp. One guy made one of these, that's right. he had a plate here and he put a clamp there. Very convenient. I got a massive big block here. I couldn't put a clamp there unless I got a big one, and by the time I've done it, it's not convenient anymore. So I'm going to put a clamp under here. Now I've made a little test. Just a little clamp there on a piece of wood, and I align it. Right, I want to have it onto this, so that will go onto there, almost touching that, but not quite, so that it'll clear. Put a clamp here just to set it and test it and check it and everything. But there, like that, then this I can just clip into place. You got a bit of movement there because it's not fastened yet, but when it's fastened, that'll be tight. Just enough to stop the jig moving when you're using it. That's all you want. You don't need anything really rock solid, just to stop it moving when you're working the thing. That's all. So you can see here, if I was to be operating it, I'd slide it on, holding the piece of wood down of course, I'd be sliding it on there, holding there, and then feeling, because I can't see, feeling there, and it's on, it's locked. So I can work that without looking. That's reasonably straightforward, that. So that's what I'll do on that. Okay, so that edge is where I want the board to be, and that is the alignment I want for that. So that's exactly on that point. And I want the board to be the same thickness as that, which is, what, 18 mil? 17 and a half. Right, so thereabouts. Right, so that is now workable. Slide it there, it's locked. Now the last thing I want to focus on is the glide and actually the markings of it. Because, well, at this stage you don't know exactly what sizes. You can measure from the blade outwards, but you can get oscillations. It's not the best way to just do it. So, the way I do it, or the way I'm going to do it, first off, I've blacked out the edges. All the edges have been blacked out. So we slide it in, and we're going to set this to anything we want. Lock it off and cut a circle. As we would do, release the lock, slide it back, taking the centre, nearest down it what we notice, the centre, which is there, lock it on. If you just spin it round when you've done it, you can see if it's going to all cut, because the line will disappear. So that's all you do. Right, slide it in, lock it while it's cutting. We want to now measure this exactly. I've got there 109 mil, 109. So that point there, we want to mark it. Now just taking a fine pencil mark, down there. So that line we've got there, you can see, is now 109. It means that is 109 mil from the blade. You'll get 109 circle, not 109 from the blade, it's half of that. But that means that is what you're going to get, 109 mil circle. So from that, I can now calibrate that entire length using a ruler, quite simple. Okay, so that's me on 109 exactly. So I can set that there as being 0. That's 10, 20, 30, and very carefully carrying on to do this. Next, a nice fine blade. Put the square on exactly. we have the first mark. A little tedious, but you only have to do it once. Now remember, each one of these is going to give me 20 mil. I probably want less than that. So what I'm going to do is go halfway between each one and put a half measure. Again, a little tedious, but only done once. Make sure it's all nice and smooth again. And now we have it. A ruler. Good enough for what we need it for. Put the tip back in. Right, so the smallest circle I can do on there is 35mm, which is about what I expected to be able to do. 35, that is the lowest, and then we go up in 5 segments. Okay, let's test it. So I've got a piece of board here, 160. So if I do 150, that way I've got a little bit of offcut. So I want this set at 75. So I know already that mark there is 35. So 75, so 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. It's that one there. Set that onto there exact so I can just see it. Draw this back. Now when you're centering this, I know it's on a little bit, so I'm going to sit it onto that line just over that line, that way, and do the same with that one. There. Spin it so all are covered by that line. That's a little bit more that way. Yep. Okay, that will now do. Now slide it forward, lock it off, and do the circle. Lock and circle. Right, so what we're looking for now is 150mm. That's why I just measured it all out for, without using a tape measure. So let's see. First time. Look at that. Spot on 150mm. So, that works. That calibration works. That system works. So there we have it. A very quick, very simple circle cutting jig. Okay, right, well there you go. That's this project over and done with. You got any comments, stick them in the bottom. Otherwise, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now. Get going.